When I was younger, I used to have, long, good chats with my mum. I was very close to my mum when I was a young boy. But then once I grew up, even grew up past the age of like 7, 8, I began to become way more independent. And especially in my teenage years, I, didn't even want to know my mum, let alone my dad or my brother. I just, it was all about me, me, me. And it still is now to an extent. And when I say me, 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 I mean, like I I'm always alone. I'm always just spending time with me, myself, and I, right? But recently, I have started to start talking to my mum again. As we used to do, and have like long, deep chats. And I think that's a very healthy, productive thing to do, especially with someone like your mother. Just family in general. You're gonna have that natural bond as you're related, whether it's your mom or your uncle, your cousin, whatever it is, right? And many times on this channel I have talked about how you need to talk. If you have a problem, if you're feeling down, don't just keep it in, go and chat to someone. But today I want to talk about talking in a different view, go down a different path and talk about, even if you don't necessarily have a problem, still, once a week even, right? Go and just, sit with your mum for a couple hours, or, another family member or a friend, right? It doesn't even have to be a family member. If you don't, maybe you don't necessarily feel comfortable talking to your family, just talk to someone you're comfortable with. Just have a conversation with them, because especially when it's someone like your mum, they're going to be talking about the good times, the bad times, and not only is it just wholesome, but you're going to learn a lot, right? Like I'm always learning. Like whenever I have a discussion with anyone, like a deep discussion, whether they're, it's like a YouTube comment and they're antagonizing me and disrespecting me, or it's someone like my mom that's obviously being kind to me, right? You're always going to learn something. Life is a life lesson, and I always keep saying that because it's true, and I didn't, my dad always used to, teach me life lessons, and I just used to cringe and just say, man, get out of here, I don't care. But, once you grow older and mature, you really do realize how much there is to learn in this life, how much there is to learn off the smallest things you can learn something off of. And hey, if you want to say to me, oh, this advice is trash, I don't need to talk to anyone, as long as I'm just focusing on myself and, my own self improvement, I'll be fine. But, if you don't want to take this advice from me, take this advice from Hamza, for example, which is obviously a massive self improvement YouTuber, arguably the biggest self improvement YouTuber, at least in the UK, right? Even he says this, that it's productive to have, hours long conversation with your mother, for example. He specifically says your mum, right? But it could be with any family member, any friend, right? Someone you feel close to. Go and talk to someone. So if you don't want to take this advice from me, take this advice from him, right? You're gonna argue with him. You're gonna say his advice is bad when he's got 2 million subscribers. Obviously, he, just no matter how big you are, you can still give bad advice. But I mean, come on now, it's Hamza, right? Obviously, if he said it, it's most likely good, right? So yeah, just a quick video today, nothing too long as usual. Obviously, my videos have started to get way longer now for the last few months, but obviously cutting it shorter today, just because I guess there's less to talk about. But, just a lesson to take from this video. At least consider, sitting with your mum once in a while and having a talk with her, or your dad, or anyone. Like I said, blah, 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 blah. Just talk to anyone, right? You don't have to necessarily have a big problem to talk to someone. Just, sit with your mum, for example, and just ask how she's doing, like, talk to her, right? If your mum's anything like mine, then she'll probably just start rambling on anyways without you even having to say anything, right? But if your mum's maybe a bit more quiet, then, why don't you make the effort? Why don't you be the engager? Is that the right word? The engager, right? And, even though it might be hard to, I don't know, it's kind of awkward to talk to my mum, I've never done it before. Once you've actually done it and you guys are talking, if you've actually got a good mum and your mum's not like, doesn't actually care about you, right? But if you've actually got a good mum, you'll actually feel so much better walking away from the conversation knowing, wow, I talked to my mum, wow, like if I didn't know my mum cared about me before, now I definitely know. Wow, I learned something new that I never knew about my mum before. I mean? Just, so many things. It's amazing, man. And I've made a video a bit similar to this, talking about how you need to speak to your family members, especially the older family members, like maybe your uncles, aunties, grandparents, right? Because unfortunately, one day they're going to pass away, right? And, it's something I should do more, but at the same time, like, they don't really put in enough effort with me. So it's like, I just, yeah. But it would have been really good, for example, if I could have spoken to my grandparents and learned stuff off them, because obviously they lived in a completely different generation to me. I could have learned so much off them and could have been so educated if I was to talk to them more. Unfortunately, I only have one grandparent left. All the others passed away, rest in peace. But, I don't, And you see, this is where maybe I should be the enabler and ask questions, right, to him. But I don't know. But yeah, so try it out, talk to someone. Doesn't have to be family, it could be friends, whatever it is. Just try and talk to someone. And yeah, if you have enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, as you know, trying to build something here, trying to build a project, a community of young men that can, be strong and stay loyal together. So if you want to be a part of that, why don't you try subscribing? Peace out, bye.